Welcome to the show. I gotta be honest with you, I'm just Tom.
D-Man.
Dunnzilla.
And I'm sure a lot of you noticed we got an empty chair right here. We got a reserved special guest today, the one and only Mr. Troy Potter, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of Wonderland Comics.
Hey, how you doing, Troy?
Good to see you again.
See you, Troy.
Have a seat.
Have a seat, join the panel.
Thanks for the special seat. I'm looking forward to this.
Absolutely. We've been looking forward to this episode for a while now. So, Troy, want to tell us a little bit about Wonderland Comics?
And
What?
go ahead.
It's Wonderland Comics been in Putnam now for over 26 years. It was owned originally by a gentleman named Rick Roden, and I've had it now for 13 years.
That's right.
And we're down in the basement of the Montgomery Ward Building in downtown Putnam. And every year it's grown and grown and grown, and it's just, I think an icon now in Putnam area.
I agree with that 100%.
Yep, I agree with it too. Very friendly staff. He has very friendly people that work here.
Absolutely. The best crew.
Very knowledgeable.
Yep.
They know their stuff.
We try.
So, having you come down, we figured we'd have these guests. We'd all ask you a question. Dunnzilla, you got a question for him?
Yeah. What was your favorite comic books story of all time?
Okay,
in your opinion.
so to me, three of them stick out. I always loved the cover of the Joker, or I'm sorry, the Creeper with the puppet strings over the Justice League. So Justice League has always been my favorite one to start with.
Nice.
Good call, good call.
That's a good one.
I collected comics when I was a kid, and then I had quit comics and went to college, and then I had cars and girls, stuff like that, and so I kind of dropped the comics. I got back into them afterwards. When I heard that Supergirl had died, and I go, they can't kill the Supergirl.
Okay, Crisis, yeah.
Flash.
The iconic cover.
And so that storyline was really good to me. But my favorite storyline, and there's going to be a trivia question about this is later on, so I can't tell you what the title of it is, but I'll tell you that story when the trivia question comes up.
Okay. Excellent.
You got a question there?
My question was how you got exposed to comics.
Okay, so I grew up in a little, I grew up on a farmhouse in Minnesota and Iowa. It was right on the Minnesota-Iowa border. And during the summers, we would drive 4.5 hours to my grandparents' place in northern Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And it was a real small town called Pine River, Minnesota. And my grandparents lived next to another couple that had a boy that was our age, and he had a little what we call playhouse that he played it, and he had some comic books in there. And the first comic book I ever saw was the Batman and Robin cover with the cobwebs on them saying, "Where are Batman and Robin?" And he gave me a bunch for that trip home. And after that, I was all in.
The floodgates were open.
What was it about it that you liked?
I think there were two pieces to that. One was the artwork and the pictures. Whoa, what happened to Batman and Robin? I was really worried about it. They might die.
Yeah.
And then to take that one step further, that night when I read that book, the old Batman TV series was on TV at my grandma's house, and where I grew up, we couldn't get ABC. Because back then you got what towns you were close to. We could only get NBC and CBS, and they got it. And Batman and Robin were on, and they were on the cliffhanger of that where they were about to get cut in half by a buzzsaw.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
What's happening to Batman and Robin? They're dying in the comics. They're dying here. Help them!
Did you think your world at the time was tailspinning or something?
I thought it was over for Batman and Robin 100 times over, but they somehow miraculously got out of it.
They always do.
But
Exactly.
because it was in northern Minnesota, I never ever saw what happened in that episode until the DVDs came out a couple of years ago. Wow. I never knew what happened to Batman and Robin, how they got out of the buzzsaw.
Did you lose it when
That's
you saw it?
It was like, that's pretty cool.
That's a long cliffhanger.
So listening to you and talking about your time in the farm, what'd you do for fun there? So for comics, watch the streetlights go on, or did you even have a streetlight?
We didn't have streetlights.
Oh, really?
No, I grew up on a 240-acre farm. We grew corn, soybeans. We raised cows, pigs, chickens.
So you watched cars rust then?
But you were a
pretty
Vikings
much.
fan, though,
But
too, I can imagine, right?
Minnesota was only I was a Vikings fan, a Twins fan, but they had no basketball team. So
that's right.
I was a
Timberwolves didn't
huge
show up.
John Havlicek fan.
Yep.
So I was a Celtic fan since I was a little kid.
Well, good guy to pick. So
Yeah.
I got a question
Yeah, he
for
was
you.
all right.
Really? Anyway. So here's my question for you. What made you decide to let the three of us do a show knowing that we might go off the deep end at any given moment?
Well, Wonderland has had a really good footprint here in Putnam, and I want to expand that.
Got it.
And I think that media today, if you're just staying in one spot and you're doing newspapers or even radio or even TV advertising, you're not going to reach what millennials and people are going for now. this is it.
Okay.
And I know you guys have been longtime customers of Wonderland.
11 years for me.
And you guys have always been hilarious.
I've been here since the beginning of time, as far as I remember.
I thought let's give it a shot. And I really appreciate you guys doing this for us. And I know you're not specifically doing this for Wonderland. You're doing it to be big stars.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's our plan. Thanks. Yeah.
And
Good
if I have
plug there.
some little piece of that,
Chicks
then
and
I can
cars,
be proud.
sound to
Chicks
it.
and cars. That's it.
That's right.
Like him in college. That's what he said.
That's right.
Put people through college.
Put people through college. Well, honestly, we do appreciate and let us have the forum to be whatever
Just
we
be
want
ourselves.
to.
We
Exactly.
appreciate
Just have
it.
a good time, and we're trying to we're trying to make sure that we keep get you more people to come in and whatnot. Let them know that this is a really good store. It may not be the biggest store, but it's actually got
It's
a
got the
lot
most
of
heart.
Oh yeah,
It really
It
does.
does.
This place has the most character
Oh,
about
yeah.
characters because countless back issues, prestige books, toys, all this other stuff.
Our customers are really knowledgeable about the characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And you go into a lot of stores right now.
They don't know
and
jack.
They sell comics, but they don't know the history behind the character.
Yeah.
And this,
Or they only know
this
like a
is
certain movie.
Another thing is you guys are bringing that history to the young kids. They don't know that the story behind the Joker.
right.
Most young kids, 18, 20 years old, don't realize that he was the Red Hood.
Yeah.
So
And on a sidebar, we just want to thank Troy for pointing out our mistake that we made about the Justice League a while ago. He didn't catch the fact I said Green Arrow instead of Green Lantern, but it's okay. It's all good.
that's true.
Yeah.
But you did say Green
I
Arrow.
did say, yes, I did.
Since we got a couple of minutes, though, I just kind of want to go off the cuff for a second. You've seen a lot of comic book runs, companies rise and fall, go through rebirths and nows and all that other nonsense. Which
Yeah.
run sucked the most?
Okay. So today, if you're looking at the comic industry, DC is killing Marvel in the storylines. They're just better. Marvel to me, since their movies have gone out, their comics have dropped off. And I see that in the subscriptions. A lot of Marvel things are dropping off.
That's because they have any idea what they're doing. They're like every
Well, not
20
just
minutes
that.
they got issue number 1.
Not just that, they recycle the same storyline
Right.
over and over
Yep.
again. It's
Yeah.
like,
When
how
they
many
do a
times are you
rebirth,
gonna
when they do rebirth, it's exactly the same story on Marvel. When DC does a rebirth, it's completely
It's
different.
totally different.
Different.
And
Yeah.
it brings like a new aspect
Well,
to DC Comics.
I read somewhere the other day that Marvel's bringing back the old characters because evidently they're realizing they didn't say why. This was a thing, a blur that said that the old heroes are coming back. I mean, does that mean Iron Man's finally going to come back? Because that'd be great. Because
How about the Fantastic Four? Where are
The-
they?
Yeah,
They-
where are the
yeah.
Fantastic
well,
Four?
what I heard,
They started it all with Marvel.
One of them said
Silver
that they're
Ages,
bringing them back.
Yep.
They just haven't picked the right time yet to have them come back yet.
Yep.
So I mean,
Who's
granted,
in charge? Who's in charge of Marvel?
I think it's
Is it-
Quesada. I met him once. He was a nice guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but some of his ideas are just really preposterous.
Well,
I agree.
now is Disney going to control that? Are they trying to force them to do
They
all
just
the things?
control the movie things, but I
Yeah.
think Disney has some say in some of the rights. Correct me if I'm wrong
Right,
on that.
but,
Troy.
but you also haven't seen action figures from any of the movies that are non-Marvel.
No.
No.
So
Yep.
the X-Men haven't had action figures forever. Fantastic Four, anybody that's not controlled.
By 20th century controls.
Right,
X-Men,
right.
Fantastic Four.
So,
Which is hard. I mean, I guess we're winding down here because we do have a time limit constraint. I just want to say thank you very much for coming.
thank you. I
sir.
appreciate you having me
Thank
on.
you.
We will
And be
definitely
part of
have you
this.
back.
Okay.
What was that trivia
Yeah.
question?
All right, you ready for the trivia
What was the
question?
I want to hear that story.
Okay.
Oh, yes,
Well,
yes.
I'm gonna have to finish the story because I can't give away the answer. But the question is, who is considered to be DC's most powerful superhero of all time? So powerful that they had to kill him off after the Crisis because his powers just didn't fit in the continuity of the new universe.
That's a really good
That's a
question.
really good question.
And when you answer that question, you will have the greatest storyline I think comics ever put out.
And you'll be able to get it one of these issues. And how many issues we got left in
I
this?
think it's like 220, 221, so whatever it takes.
My God, these are going fast. You want to get it quick. I'm D, man.
I'm just Tom
I'm Dunnzilla.
and Troy Potter.
Troy
once
Potter,
again,
thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming. I gotta
Thank
be
you.
honest
Have a
with
great
you.
day.